Hi, everyone. Linda Israel here. Thank you so much for being here during my live stream. I greatly appreciate your support. I've pre-recorded this so that we can have some of the behind the scenes done while you listen to me for just a moment. I again want to thank you so very much for being here during my live stream. If you could give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they can come join us. And if you will also give me a comment in the comment section after this video is done, and then definitely speak up in the chat and say hi. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, generally, if you're on a computer, you can go down below and look for the little gear. You can change that and make the speed faster. If you're on a mobile device, look up in the corner, up in this area for three little dots, and you can change the speed there as well. Those of you that are here live, do definitely speak up in the chat. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, those that are here live earn a virtual currency. Junkie Joe should be coming up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to check how many bucks that you have. What are bucks? They're junk bucks. It's just a virtual point system that I have created on my account when we're live so that you can redeem those once you get to 2,000 for a $10 off coupon to my shop. So you can type exclamation point bucks to see how many that you have. And if you have 2,000 and you're ready for a coupon code, type exclamation point award, and my official note takers will take down that information. Now, if you haven't already created an account on my website at lindaisrael.com, please do so, and then send me a message through the contact form letting me know what your YouTube username is. Why? So I'll have your email address and I can email you your coupon code. Also, if you make a donation throughout this live stream, you can be added to my YouTube donators membership that I have on my website. So again, create an account, say, hey, Linda, I donated, and tell me what your username is on YouTube if it's different. That way I can get you added to that. At the end of this stream, I will have journals made, and you will have the opportunity to win one of those journals. Throughout the live stream, we'll have some various raffles, and we also have in-chat games. So be looking out for that in the chat, and I'll kind of speak it up when I get to it. For example, if you type exclamation point raffle, right now you can be in a chance to win 200 junk bucks. So you'll be well on your way to getting 2,000 junk bucks. Normally, Robin is my official note taker. Sometimes Angelica is my official note taker. It kind of depends on what's going on. These are members and administrators of my Facebook group, the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, we'd love to have you come and join us over there. What else? Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. Hey, if you have a question, try to put it in all caps. That way I'll see it. If I don't see it, please don't be offended. The chat sometimes moves fast, and I'm usually looking down trying to create things. So please ask again. But if you know the answer that someone else's question, please go ahead and answer for them. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have a YouTube channel, you can't post your link, but you can say, I have a YouTube channel, and tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your channel name, something like that. Tell us what you do. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'm looking at the time. So roughly 5 minutes is when I'll get started. So it should be just a few more seconds. So definitely hang out in the chat, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Hello. I gotta get the right screen. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are well. I hope you are having an amazing day. I'm doing all right. I've got a little bit of a headache. I took some Benadryl a little while ago and some Tylenol, so hopefully that'll help me out a little bit. Hey, if you would speak up in the chat, say hi. Love to know who's here and what you're doing. And hey, tell me how you found about me, even if it was a long, long time ago. Did you see a Facebook post? Did you just happen to stumble across me here on YouTube? Do you happen to be friends with me on Facebook or in real life? Maybe, well, let's see, what other options could there be? You went to my blog. You did a Google search on something. I'd love to know that. Hey, Kat, welcome. So glad to have you here. Hey, Joni and Robin and Bonnie. And let's see, who else did I see in here? Bonnie, Robin. Oh, Anita, welcome. Yeah, Anita's on the road. She's on a 3-hour car trip. So glad to be there scratching. Hey, Kathy. So good to see you here. Alrighty. So you don't remember? You stumbled across me a few years ago. It is interesting how many people that I have been friends with for probably 10 years on like Facebook now, because I think that's about how long I've been there. My cell phone just jumped off my table. Well, that's weird. Through Bonnie. Oh, well, thanks for coming, Kat. Thanks for coming. So it's been kind of neat to, hey, Debbie, see people on the creative side share photos of what they're working on and how they've grown over the years. First time live. All right, Joni, so glad to have you here live. So today I have gone through, these are some of my gel prints. I've got some mixed media papers I'm going to use later, meaning that those were direct to paper where I maybe went through a stencil directly onto the paper, not using a gel plate in between. So if you're wanting to know how I made these papers, go back, look at some of my other mixed media lives on gel printing and on direct to paper. And something I will say is a lot of people say, how can I do this technique without a gel plate? Well, think in reverse. So if I am gel printing, I would have put down this teal first, then the purple, then the pink, and then made the background behind it. So if I'm going to go direct to paper, I would put my background, which would be this purple mottled look in the background, brayer that on. Then I would lay down a stencil and I would daub through that stencil some paint, and then I would remove it and put another stencil until you got the layers up this way. So it is a little different because you have to do each area manually, but you can go ahead and do it that way instead of having a gel plate. Somebody just sent me a message. Let me see. Okay, good. So I have some gel prints that I decided that we would do. I'm going to create an embellishment that I can put onto a journal page later on. Okay. So sometimes when we sit down, hey, Diana, welcome. Hi, Lori. Sometimes we, are looking for that perfect thing to put in a page, and maybe we'll stop and make it right then. Sometimes I will make things ahead of time. I just lost my basket. Oh, there it is. So I will make a few little things that I'm like, oh, well, I could use that. It's a pocket. Okay. So this may be a technique you like. You may prefer to do it as you go, meaning you're making that journal page, and so you look at what you have on your desk and make it right then. So no way is wrong. Either way is fine. Do whatever works for you. Hey, Hercules, what are you doing? What are you doing, Hercules? Are you in trouble? Are you trying to get into stuff? Did you want to say hi? Get up there, say hi. Hey, Hercules, up here. Up here. Right up here. Hey, I got a cookie for you. Where'd it go? Let me find the cookie. Can you look up here at the camera? No? Come here. He wants to be up there. Hey, Debbie, thank you for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's been puttering around here all morning. So I grabbed some gel prints. I know I'm chatting like crazy, so thank you for sticking with me. I got some gel prints, and I found this digital image, and it is from the Wildflowers collection from Calico Collage. Sorry, I was going to get that link for you, Robin, and I didn't get it before the live, but it is Calico Collage. You can use the link in the description box below, and that'll take you to her Etsy, and then just type in Wildflowers, and you'll see this one. So I took this bigger gel print and cut a strip off of it, made it into a square, scored a 1/2 inch all the way around. I know, math. So this little piece is approximately 1.5 inches square. So I cut a 3-inch square and then scored a 1/2 inch on all sides and then folded that. Then I went ahead and cut the corners. I will glue this piece here. So basically, I made this little piece to be just slightly larger than the digital image. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and glue this directly down, not making it a tuck spot or a pocket. I could. I'm thinking about it. No, I'm going to go ahead and glue it all the way down. So I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue. I happen to pick up this little bitty bottle from the dollar store. I like the size. It's easy to hold. What now? What is high? I'm trying to follow what Lori says. It's the same shape and size as a yellow pattern block, says the kindergarten teacher. Type it without the space, cat. Put it all one word. Remember? Yeah. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, here, cat. Type it like this. All one word. Exclamation point. Raffle. Does that help? No space. Hercules, why are you getting in my box over there? That's not a bed, dude. Why are you wanting back there? Get in your bed. Why are you trying to get over there? There's nothing there. There's nothing there for you. Pardon me as I deal with my dog. What's going on? What are you after? Is there something? He's very interested in what's going on in the corner of my room, and I don't see anything. What are you doing? This is it? No? I don't know what's going on. All right, we're going to move this. I'm going to move something because he's trying to lay in it, and it's all paper, and I don't want him squishing it. Okay. Pardon me. I may move his dog bed. Maybe that would make him happy. Do you want your dog bed there? Oh my goodness, the things we do for our dogs. Okay. Is that what you wanted? Okay. Yeah, that's what he wanted. He jumped into the bed. He's all happy. You all want to see? Here, let me get the face zoom. So he was right here behind me, digging around on the floor, and I had to move everything that was there. And now he's making a little nest, playing in his bed. You threw the blankie out. Oh my goodness. It's live, y'all. Oh, my dear. It's the same size and shape. No, it's not. Hey, Austin, how are you, sir? I just realized you're an administrator, and I need to probably remove you as an administrator unless you're just going to be administrative today. Okay, so the next thing I did was I wanted another pocket. So I took my artist trading card size, which is, I'll put it on my mat, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And this time I cut a 4-inch by 5-inch square. I scored a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. Now I'm going to fold over this edge. So I'm making layered pockets. These are book pages that I've gel printed upon, so they're thinner, okay? Oh, type exclamation point bucks, Diana. Like you could be administrative if you need me. How are you? I hope, yeah. So I didn't. Are those your twins or adopted twins? Because I know you already had some other adopted children, so your family has like quadrupled in size. Bless your heart. I know it's exciting. I know you love your children. All one word, Cat. Okay, so I made that piece, and this artist trading card, it's a little short. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I may go get another piece of paper and make a bigger thingy. Oh, here we go. No, that's too short. How about this one? Okay, that's taller. I don't want it to be super tall. Maybe I'll use that piece somewhere else. So I'm just going to grab my paper cutter. And I'll cut this to be 2 3/4 inches wide. So it's not quite 3 inches. Fish 2 biological, number 5 and number 6. Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. It's a full house. And you, thankfully, you have been blessed that you got a new job. And I hope you got a bigger house and you're not having to move again. So this is 4 inches tall. And I think I don't want it to be 5 inches, so I'm going to make it 4.5 inches tall. So it'll kind of stick out the top when we cut it. So just a little bit. There you go, Connie. How are you? All right, so I got this piece that will go in there. And we'll just pretend I distressed that and move on. Okay, so we got this piece and I've got this piece. I happen to see this piece here, and I'm trying to decide if I like that layer. Do I need something else behind here? You know, it's kind of one of those paradoxical things that you're like, well, I could keep layering. It can keep going and going and going. Oh, Cat needs bucks to play. Gotcha. All right, so that was Cat Kappa. Give me a second. Okay. Right? No. Cat. Is it C-A-P-A? Yes. All right. There we go. Edit. Oh, come on. Go back. Edit that user. Here, I'll give you 100 jump bucks. It's almost like you won half the raffle today. All right. I'm thinking that I like that layer, and that's as far as I want to go. I'll contemplate if I want to put something behind the butterfly. So I'm going to cut this larger piece. So again, I want this to be narrow enough that it fits on my journal page. I want it to be big enough that it gives a nice little patterning background here. So I'm going to rotate my paper around. All right, I don't want it any wider, probably than 5.5 inches. If I do it at 5.5 and score a 1/2 inch on each side, that should still give me enough space to give a nice little border around this little piece here. And we could have another pocket to put on the page. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 5.5 inches. This happened to be copy paper that I gel printed. Now, I don't want it to be the full height of the page. So I'm going to look at this and say, what if we did 6 inches? Okay. Now, if I take a 1/2 inch off the bottom, I'll want to go to, let's do 7 inches. So I've made it a 5 by 7. I could leave it like that, but I think I want to go ahead and put it down smaller. So here's, it's actually wider than 5, but so that's what it would look like on my journal page right there. It gives us a nice background, but I think I want to go ahead and score all the way around all the sides. So I'm going to turn it over to the back side and lay it on my paper cutter. I use it as a scoreboard. So I will just line it up on my ruler here, and then I use one of the stylus tools and then just gently crease that background. You could also use an old ballpoint pen if you don't have a stylus tool. Find one that it still rolls but there's no ink in it, and then just lay your ruler down and just go down the edge of your ruler. So don't feel you have to have fancy tools. I'm using what works for me, and I could afford to have a paper cutter when I bought it. I've been looking at new ones. This one's getting old. It's starting to wear in a few places, so I've been trying to see what kind of design I want to buy next. Gwee! Oh, I have a little journal today that I'm going to give away at the end to everybody who's here, participates, is eligible to get in. Not everybody gets a journal. Everybody that's here and wants to enter could win this journal. And it's just an artist trading card, a traveler size that I made a long time ago. I didn't do a lot of embellishments. These were supposed to be a simple journal to sell in my shops when I had a bunch of booths throughout Oklahoma City. And when all those shops closed, I took my stuff home, and I've been going through everything, trying to rehome it. Yeah, your blade falls out. See, and I don't like the slide blade ones. I had one of those and I hated it because it was wobbly. It didn't cut straight. I kept having to replace the blades. I kept losing the blades. I was like, wow. So that's why I bought this rotary one. Now, I have been using occasionally on fabric my rotary cutter, and so I'm thinking about buying a better ruler that fits a little bit longer on this mat, but at the same time is small enough that I can use it for my paper arts, and I can just use this mat. I just have to make sure there's nothing on the mat when I go to cut something. All right. Who got to see Monday night's live stream? Did y'all watch that? Did you, were you there live, or did you watch it later? I'd love to know, and tell me what you thought of it. All right, so this time I'm just going to cut across the corners, and I'm making a pocket. This is copy paper, so it's kind of thin, but it should be fine because I'm folding over one edge to be the top. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll go around the edges with some distress ink. Okay. My crew, oh, hey, Lori, I just realized you weren't there Monday. So for those of y'all that didn't know, went on a cruise, and we flew from here to Seattle and got on a cruise ship in Seattle that took us to Alaska, and we were at sea for 2 days, and then we went to Skagway, Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, Ketchikan, at sea, and then back to Seattle. And I loved it. It was really good. You watched it, Connie? Thanks for watching. Oh, you slept all day? Well, I'm glad you feel better, Laura. Sometimes you have to do that. In fact, that's what happened to me on a couple of the days of the cruise ship. We had Monday, So we got there on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday we were at sea. Friday, Saturday, Sunday we were in ports. Monday we were at sea, and Tuesdays when we came back. So we would go eat, and then we would walk around the ship, and I would play on some of my stuff, and then all of a sudden I'd say, Henry, I am so tired. I just want to lay down and take a nap. And this is when we're just out in the middle of the channel in Alaska. So you could look on either side and see the mountains. It was really beautiful. And so I'd go up to the room and I sat on the edge of the bed for a few minutes. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get in the bed. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. And I took naps. So sometimes you got to take naps. All right, let's make a journal card to go in the back. So I took a nap. We did go to a couple of the live shows. They have a variety of things on the ship. Sometimes they have live entertainment where you walk around and you can sit down and listen to musicians or even comedians and just do some trivia, that kind of stuff. So we do all kinds of stuff. It is a lot of fun, Austin, and I know it would be difficult with all of your children to do right now, but it is truly something, especially Alaska is an amazing trip, but you need to have a little bit of money so you can truly see everything. But Alaska is absolutely gorgeous. It's a valuable vacation because you go, you unpack once. You know where you're going to get your meals. It's on the ship, and they're included in your fare that you paid, unless you want something fancy in the specialty dining or beverages, specialty beverages like alcohol, Coca-Colas, that kind of stuff. It's a great value to be able to go somewhere and see multiple different locations. Just overnight, you're in the next place, you know. It's amazing to be able to do it. It was absolutely gorgeous. Big fan of naps, Robin says. But we went to Skagway. Henry and I didn't have a lot of money this time. So we were trying to decide what we would do when we got off the ship each time. And we decided we were going to basically just walk around town, kind of sightsee the town and talk to people. You know, we've all been cooped up for so long and had an opportunity to really speak to anybody. So that's kind of what we did. We got off in Skagway and started walking around and looking at things in the city, and they're small cities because, you know, yes, I did. I did need to show proof. You know, these little cities, they're, you know, 1,000 people that live there. But when a cruise ship descends upon them, they've now tripled in size in this little bitty town. And they pretty much live for the tourist season. That's what they prep for. In the wintertime, they'll go home and they make handmade art pieces and jewelry and clothing and knitted things and carved things, and then they bring it back for this short season in Alaska, and it's really neat. Glad to be here, Millie. So glad to have you. All right, so I'm going to do some rubber stamping on here, so I'm trying to decide what I want to use. Since I have this butterfly here, I think I want to use a butterfly. And I just saw them. Of course, they're going to be on the last sheet or the one that's not right here. Okay, I just had them. Well, fine. I'll just use this butterfly. It's here. You got picked. Too much fresh air. Yeah. It was just beautiful. So beautiful up there. So we went to Skagway and walked around town, and we met a Russian immigrant that lives in the United States now in Alaska, and he had some beautiful jewelry that he created. We met a local shop that had yarn hand-dyed yarns. We think little butterflies all the way around. That were gorgeous. And while we were there, a customer was wearing a t-shirt that was the same hometown as the owner of that shop. So we got to hear their exchange of, I lived on this street. Oh, I lived on that street. It was fun. It was fun. Then we were in another shop and talked to the owner for a little while. It was kind of funny because he came up to me and was just running his mouth. And finally I said, well, you know, if you just shut up and let me shop. No, I was teasing him, but... And so he laughed. He said, I've never had anybody speak back to me. And after we were done looking around, we said, hey, where's the best place to go eat in town? And he said, over there right by the cruise ship, that little seafood shack. That's the perfect place. And so Henry and I kept walking around town, and we still had plenty of time. And we thought, well, you know what? Let's enjoy a meal. Yeah, to watch the whales, exactly. This is from the Distressed Edges rubber stamp set. And I thought that would be kind of pretty to put back here. Kind of have that sticking out. All right, I think I've got enough. You know, I play with this for a while before I glue it all together to determine, okay, is that what I want? Am I done decorating? And I think I am. So I'm going to glue down this piece. So we went to the little restaurant that was recommended. It is near the water. You actually look out over the boat dock, and it isn't just where the ship is, where all their smaller boats are located. But you can see the water, and you can see occasionally some birds fly by, and of course you see people walking by. And we opted, because they had a space at the counter, which was in front of their bar, but you're not required to drink to sit there, and started talking to the guy that ran the bar, and learned a little bit about how the families come up for the season and live. There's a few that actually stay in town, and there's some that do not. They all go south for the winter. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. And it was just nice to just sit and relax, not be in a hurry while we ate. I had some fish and chips, which was halibut, and it was quite tasty. I really enjoyed it. The first butterfly I matted. You like that? And then this is the tiny library card that I have in my stamps that I thought we'd put there. Maybe we'll find a word. You know what? I have this word majestic. What if I put it down here in the corner? I don't want to put it here. Maybe. I don't know. Let's look at that for a second. Let me get a drink. Why did I just cut a flat square for the butterfly mat? Anita says. Well, I did that because I wanted it to be a pocket that if I wanted to put a card in that would go all the way to the edge, I could. So if I take my ruler, and that is right about 1 3/4 of an inch wide. Is that the same? No. That is almost the right size. So I'm going to cut this to be 2.5 inches. Is that what I want? Yeah, let's do that. 2.5 inches by 1 3/4 of an inch. So now this piece will fit, if I measured right, in my pocket. Come on. I was getting hung up here. I may not have it narrow enough. Come on. Oh, my glue's still wet. Okay. All right, see how that fit all the way across? It gives me that option that if I didn't make the pocket that size, I wouldn't have that option. So what I'm going to do is I have a corner punch somewhere. I just saw it. Of course, I probably touched it, and that's why I can't find it. All right, so I can't find my little fancy corner punch, but I have a old gift card that I've cut the corner off, and I'm just going to cut the top, matching that up. Just flip it over. So if you're ever trying to be consistent, this is one way to do it. Make a little card like this and use that as your template. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. All right, it's time for the raffle for y'all to get 200 junk bucks. All right, so let's put this. All right, now my library card kind of goes down too deep. So what if I just saw, I take a little piece of this paper. All right, so I'm going to fold it up. And I'm folding the sides over. And I'm going to trim this a little bit. I'm going to cut this corner. And I just made a tiny pocket to go on the front of my little tag. So if you don't know what the measurement should be, well, just fold it over the edge of the paper, make it fit. All right, so I'm going to put this right here. I like it. Yeah, and it raises it up just a little bit. Yeah, way easier and better to get things in and out when they're wider like that. So this will go in here. But I need something at the top. It's kind of plain at the top. So what do we want to put? Oh, I must have folded the corner in that. Don't do that. What can I put across the top there? What about... we've got the distressed edge there. We got the butterflies there. How about flowers? I think flowers. So I've got the small beach rose. And I'm just going to kind of center it where I get that flower. But yes, we had to be fully vaccinated. When we booked our cruises, that wasn't a requirement. But after we booked it, you know what I should have done before I started, y'all? I should have made my journal tag smaller. You know that? But I got it. I got it. You have to fidget with it, but I got it. Now that looks kind of cute. And then what if we put that right there? Oh, Anita, get your charger, woman. Get your charger. Plug it in. Where's your battery backup? I bought a new earphones or earbuds. I bought earbuds, and it comes with this. It's huge, but it's a battery, so you can use it to charge your cell phone. It has the connections on both sides, so depending on what kind of cords you have. And I thought that was pretty clever. All right, so there's a pocket, layered pocket that I made, so you can then have your background page be plain, or you can decorate it out, and then you'll have this little unit that you can put down all decorated. You like that? All right, sorry. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. Y'all ready? I thought I'd share that. All right, let me get this out of the way. He is curled up under the blanket, sound asleep. Okay. Moving a few things out of the way. All right, so we're going to give away 200 junk bucks. I'm trying to pay attention, y'all. All right. Okay. I was trying to decide what we're going to do for the first prize after the junk bucks. Yeah, Diana, let it go. It's okay for it to not be center. It can be off center. And, it just kind of gives you this collage feel. So if you like collaging and you want to know a way to use it where you have pockets, well, here's you an idea. Okay. All right. So the winner, hey, Sandra, hello. Did you get your email? Did you get your coupon code? Check your email. All right. Did I wait long enough? Let's pick a winner. 200 junk bucks goes to Jeannie Miller. Congratulations. Is it Joni or Jeannie? I can't see it. Joni Miller. I apologize. I did that wrong. The first screen, it's really fuzzy. It was hard for me to see. Congratulations. You won 200 junk bucks. I'll get those added to your account later after the stream. So now we're going to reset. Yes. All right. So I'm going to share these with y'all. Beverly of Beeline Designs gave me these images. So what she did was she coffee dyed and or used cherries to dye some papers, and then she stamped them, or they were papers that she laser printed and coffee dyed and or cherry stained. Okay, so with Beeline Designs and my rubber stamps, you can scan them into your computer and resize them and print them. You could color this. So if you wanted, you could scan this in and color it, or scan this in and resize it on your computer and print it out again. This would be gorgeous as a cover piece. Beeline allows you to do that. What they don't allow you to do is sell the digital image or to create a new rubber stamp. And it's the same. Can't create a digital image with it and sell that digital image, okay? But what she did was she colored these in. She hand colors these with colored pencils. She wrote her name on here. But wouldn't that be gorgeous in a journal? So that is Virginia. I don't know if I have her in my shop. If you want Virginia as a rubber stamp added to my shop, then let me know by coming to my website at lindaisrael.com. And oh no, Anita. Well, hopefully it won't die too soon. If you're wanting this stamp, let me know. Go through my website, contact me at lindaisrael.com and say, hey, add Virginia. And then this is a young boy, and it is Wayne. Wayne. I have this stamp, and it's called Flourish Plume. She tea and watercolored white while all wet. White color pencil. So she tea dyed that, and then she used a white colored pencil. I just love how that looks when she does that. Spread your wings. Bird cage, magpies, bird nest with Pages Cube and feathered friend quartet. There's 2 of them from that. You know, so she did this so that you could take it and tear it or cut it and use these pieces. You could even use the page, you know, put that in a journal if you want. So Beverly made these, and then this is just coffee dyed and cherry dye. Came this purpley color. That's from cherries. And then she kind of, cherries and coffee, she kind of put the white pencil in the bird nest, a little bit of pencil there. Anyhow, I'm going to pass these along to the winner today. I thought y'all could have fun with those. This kind of your own faux ephemera. It's handmade ephemera. That's what I would call it. Okay. Yeah, don't they look great on the tea dye papers? Alrighty, let's make something else. So we'll set that aside. Okay, this is simple. I have this is a direct to paper piece. So this is where the background was painted that pale lavendery purple color. And then I stenciled over the top with different colors of paint to get those patterns. And I happen to have this scrap laying on my desk. It should smell like peppermint oil because I dropped some. There's a little drop. So I'm going to use this. And then I had this little butterfly. And I had the word imagine. So I don't know if that's what I want to do. Maybe something like that. I think we could stamp down this side. Or maybe the whole background. Let's do the whole background. I have the postcard collage here. Let's ink this up. Oh, good. Cute autumn and Christmas triple pockets. Oh, wonderful. You love the chickadee, Lori? Isn't she cute? All right, so I'm going to stamp this all over. Oh, that looks pretty good. So kind of combining that vintage look with those wild colors. And I'm trying to decide if I want to keep Imagine. I think I will. I think I'll put it on there. You like it? Don't be afraid to cut up. This was on a book page. Those gel prints and printed papers. You don't have to use the whole piece. So if you make something and you're kind of like, well, that's a little wild. Well, cut it down. I have another one I'll be showing you. Oh, well, I'm glad, Laura. And sometimes that happens, you know. I have moments where I'm like, what am I gonna do? I just don't feel it. So I will clean in my room. I'll rearrange. And sometimes that sparks it. I'll watch some videos on YouTube. I'll pull out some old magazines and flip through those. Okay. What do you think? Just made a little card. Okay. Oh yeah, this one will be, I think you'll like this one. Do some more stamping. So when I have my repeating butterfly stencil in my shop, and you get one, you also get a couple of the cutout pieces. I don't give you a bunch, but I try to give you several. And you can use these as a stencil. So we're going to do that today. I'm also going to color some paper. I need my tattered angels here. All right, so I've got a book page that I'm going to fold in half. And I'll go ahead and glue it to itself. I should have done it before I started, but I wanted y'all to see the whole process. I'm grabbing my bone folder and I'm just going to go like this. Hello, Kara. Kara, hey, how are you? Okay, so I've got that piece. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to spray it with some Tattered Angels. This is from the Garden Tea Party kit. It's a pretty pink. So I'm going to shake it up really well and spray this. And then I'm going to let that dry. So I'm going to dry it with my heat tool. Okay. Good luck. Cleaning is what started. You were feeling all of your disposable life. At least I had a huge pile. Good luck fall journal. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, sometimes that what happens. You know, just cleaning, you see something. Well, Winter's Dream, I need your mailing address. I think that's right. I think I need your mailing address. You need to come over to lindaisrael.com and message me through the contact me form your mailing address if you haven't received it yet, because I sent out a whole bunch. Okay, so I painted that pink, and I've got this butterfly that I'm going to put on top of it out of this green gel print. Rob is going, oh, good Lord, that color. So I'm going to take my little butterfly stencil, and I'm just going to go to the back side. I'm going to trace around this little butterfly stencil. And I didn't put on my bifocals, so I'm just going to wing it. That's why you do it on the back side, so you don't accidentally draw across your image. Okay. I'm not looking at the chat yet. Oh, I almost messed up. Okay. There, does that look like a butterfly? But Linda will make it pretty as usual. It's a terrible green, isn't it? But you gotta use it. All right, so let's cut this out. So I'm just gonna fussy cut it. Fussy cutting away. Well, sometimes, you know, we get into those funks. So I asked Robin, and she got me started to sort my stencils alphabetically. And so she went through and put them all in alphabetical order, and then I went back through and changed it. So I feel good, though, that I got it changed to what I think is logical for me to be able to use it. I went back through and I had all the flower stencils in one file folder, alphabetically sorted. And then all my other stencils, if they didn't really fit a secondary category, then it was alphabetical order. If it fit, like, for example, my bee stencils, And my honeycomb stencils, well, I don't want to have to go, okay, it's small honeycomb, medium honeycomb, large honeycomb, B, and they're all alphabetical by the first letter. So they won't all be together when you go to look for them because they're all different names. Does that make sense? You said, I did say that, and that's what I said. So then I made file folders that went in between. That's, for example, all my circle stencils. I don't know why I felt that they should all be together. So I put all the circle stencils in alphabetical order in my file folder. I'll show it to you in just a moment. Okay. So there is my butterfly fussy cut out. Doesn't it look completely different once you fussy cut it out? So I'm going to use my Distress inks and go around the edge real fast. Eye roll. I have to have it my way. Well, but I also did more than that too. So, all right. So now I'm going to take that, and I've got the I always get this wrong. Postscript collage. And we're going to ink it up. And I really want this swirly piece and that portion. So I'm trying to put that all over the butterfly. So it just slightly adds a pattern. Like that. Okay. Set this aside for a second. So now what I need is, where did it go? I flipped it over. That's what happened. So now I have this piece, and I want to make, I didn't really need to fold that in half, I guess. I was going to make it a pocket, but maybe I'll do it differently. I want to make a pocket out of this. So I think I can do that. I'm going to cut this top a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this. Let's see if I can get this to work. Okay. Is that going to be too much? No, I think this is going to work. All right, so I'm doing 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay. Purging. Oh, she's a minimalist purging queen. She's too sweet to hate. Can't hate her. But I don't think we would be best friends. If she came in here, she would be like, oh my God, how could you live in this? So this is my life. This is what I love. All right, let's see if I made this too small. We'll find out here in just a moment as I folded all the edges and put this on. Hey, I did pretty good, didn't I? It fits. It fits, it fits, it fits. All right, so I have this piece that is a digital copy of one of my gel prints. In fact, I'm pretty confident that if you're a YouTube donator, you get this as a free digital download. And so I'm going to trim it. So this is 4 inches wide. I think I want to be able to see that guy. So I'm going to do 3 3/4 inch wide. And you know what? Let's just make it square. I see why I used that green butterfly. All right, so this is going to go on here, and this will go there. But I think this piece needs something. Plus, I need to put some distress ink on it. So we're going to do that real fast. No, no, not the gumdrop buttons. Not the paper scraps. Not the used envelopes. You just throw stencils in a tub in a big file cabinet drawer. Well, and that's fine. My reasoning for doing this is sometimes you, as my fans and followers and friends, will say, hey, Linda, I want to see XYZ stencil. And I'll be like, well, that'll take me 20 minutes to find. So here's what I did was I printed a page with the stencil design. I haven't got through all of them yet. I'm still working on it. And then I took a random other page that came out of a manual, and I used some packing tape to tape them together and stuck the stencil inside. Then I used a paper punch and made a file tab and wrote the name on there. So now I can do one of two things. This one I haven't made the file folder yet, but I did put 2 pieces of paper. So now I can flip through this and I can see my stencils, or I haven't, like I said, I haven't done all of them. I'll be able to kind of thumb through here and then go, oh yeah, I want the triangle one. That's this one. Okay. And it didn't cost me anything. I mean, yes, it costs ink and paper, but realistically, it wasn't that expensive. Okay. So I've got, this one is set up. This has all my stencil clubs in it. So I needed something that I could organize them. Okay. Let's continue on. So I think I need to put some distress inks around this square. And we need to add something to this pink. And I think I want something down here. So I just grabbed the September Stencil Club. And I think I like this stencil. So I'm going to lay it across the page. Let's use a turquoisey color. So how about Mermaid Lagoon? Which should be somewhere. There it is. Mermaid. You're only going to see it on the edge up here, so that's why I'm only doing the edge. So mixing that stamping with a gel print. I kind of like that. All right, so this piece needs a little something on it. I'm thinking maybe I'll use the wildflowers stamp. Find a block. This is the sketched wildflowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stamp it. So just giving a pattern. I still haven't put away my stamps yet. I'm still using them off this little palette. Okay, so now if I look at this, I need to trim the corners. And let's make this into a pocket. Okay, I'm going to glue. Gotta get my glue. This side. No, that's not what I want. I did that wrong because I want to make a pocket that goes this way. So I'm going to glue this down, as that's where my tag that's going to go on the inside will come in and out. Okay, so then this is going to go on top of these pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this at the top. Isn't that cool? It's that Mermaid Lagoon. I love that color. It's a pretty color. And even, like I said, you only see a little bit around this, but you see just a tiny bit. All right, so this is going to go here in the center. Oh, I almost glued it shut again. You always put your thumb where you don't want to glue. That way you don't glue it wrong. I wasn't holding it correctly, so I messed up. Okay. Make sure there's no glue there. All right. Yeah, see, I could see where that would make you crazy, having all those different sizes. And I don't use anybody else's stencils anymore but my own, because I make them and of course I sell them. So I have sympathy for you, but I'm like, I just don't use the bigger ones anymore. I just use mine. I do have some. They're stashed away. I don't know that I ever really had any 12 by 12 ones. I think most of my stencils stayed under 8.5 by 11. All right, so I'm going to put this down in the middle. Now, if you want, I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to get a pen. I've got my little Sharpie pen. And if you want this butterfly to stand out just a little bit, you just kind of draw around him. Let me zoom in so y'all can see that. Zoom! And my crazy glasses. These are my DIY bifocals. You like them? You see my bifocal in there? I bought some reading glasses and ordered the bifocal stick-ons from Amazon and the readers from readers.com. No endorsement here, y'all. That's just where I ordered it. And when I got all the stuff, I stuck them together. So this comes in handy sometimes for being able to look up. I'm still not used to it yet. See how that kind of makes it stand out just a little better? Y'all see that? And I'm going to go ahead and do this edge. All right. Now I need a piece of paper. So I have this piece. I have a bunch of pre-cut pieces of paper because of my subscription boxes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want to cut this to fit inside here. So I'll get my paper cutter out. And I want it to be at least probably 3 inches long by 2 1/4. So let's do 2 1/4. I can probably go up almost 2 1/2. And I'll cut it down a little bit. Let's see if that was enough. Nope, I didn't cut it enough. Okay. Do what you said you were going to do. I was trying to make it as wide as possible. I don't know if I like it sticking out that far, so I'm going to trim it down just a smidge. I'm going to take it down to 3 inches. And I think that's going to work now. Yes. So that fits in there. All right, so now I'm going to take my same card that I used earlier. Let's see which one works best. I think that one will work. Let's do this side. Okay. So there's my tag shape. So I'm just going to add some distress inks to the edges. Okay, now I got to change glasses because I can't see the chat. I need to make a different pair. Oh, good. I'm glad we're making your car ride a lot more fun. I hope you have enough battery. All right, it's 1:30, so I've got one more project for you once I finish this tag. Oh, we're going to... Sewing cam. Sewing cam. What did I do with it? All right, so I'm going to take this ID badge punch. This is a new item that for me to be using. And I'm punching a tab hole there. And I've got a piece of some fabric. This happens to be left over from the garden tea party. And I don't want it super duper long. I just want a little bit there sticking out. Sewing lamb. Sewing lamb. Sewing lamb. All right, we're going to go to the sewing machine. And I'm going to stitch across here. Okay. All right, hopefully I've got my sewing cam set up. Yeah. I think you can see. Let's get it turned there. So I have it set on a zigzag stitch and about a 2.5 by 2.5 inch zigzag width and length, something like that. I use black thread, just regular cotton thread. I have a regular needle in it. It's just really simple machine, and I sew on paper and fabric all the time. It doesn't have any problems. Yeah, it's a different hole for ribbons, exactly, Robin. And I like this because stitching across here keeps it flat. So I'm just going to stitch across. And that way you're not tying a knot and it's not adding bulk. So see how thin that is? It's just no bulk to it at all. And it's super, super cute. So for your stencils only 4, but I use them for all my ephemera as well. So I have a total of 65. What do you have 65 of? I missed it. That's crazy. That's a lot of stencils. 4 binders for 3,000 stencils. Gotcha, Anita. Gotcha. Thank you. That's a lot of stencils. I don't have that many. And I make mine. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so this will be my tag that goes in here. Okay, so it just barely sticks out. But wait, we need more. I have this stamp. This is from the Nature's Walk Quartet. Okay, I got to make sure I've got it right side up. I'm going to stamp it right here in the bottom. I like that. But wait, there's more. I found my paper flowers on my desk. And the other one I did this way, but I think I'll do it again. I didn't want it on the opposite side. I think I want it here. So these are some Prima flowers. I had a bunch of it. You need horizontal space. Your floor is full. I understand that. Made it back. No school today, Sheila. Well, welcome. So glad to have you here. The only mess on your floor is a pile of stencils. Well, I apparently had things in the way of where my dog thought he should be able to sleep. So I had to move stuff. Just our flat back self-adhesive rhinestones. Look at there. I used bling, Robin. So there's a wild gel print in the background. And then that's putting that green. Let's zoom in for you. Putting the green on top of it. Here's one I made earlier, but it's a little bit different because I was just playing around with stuff. I matted this one. This one I did in stencil. So you kind of see the difference, you know, what it makes. You're impressed? Oh, dear. My room's a mess at the moment. I have Hercules back here. Okay. There's something else we made. So here is another concept of putting a pocket on a journal card, but this is a little different. So y'all get to see the contrast here. So I matted this on top of another piece of paper and made it a pocket. And then this is these tags that you guys get several of usually in your subscription box. And I stamped down the edge and then just tied a little piece of leftover wax linen thread and a couple of beads in neutral colors. And then that slides right in here. This is from the Butterfly Beauties Cube, and it was colored with yellow on ivory paper, and then I put some Tulip Dimensionals fabric or paint on top of it. The background is the Tick Tick Tick, I think it's called. It's a huge stamp that has all kinds of clock images. And the digital image is from Norella. I think it's one of her number small ephemera. And this made this into a little booklet. So two different concepts, color-wise. But look at ideas that this is the same idea on both pages. I made a pocket with a horizontal pocket coming out of it with some layers. Okay. All right. Next thing. Can the crocodile set eyelets into fabric? Yes. So this crocodile that has the hole punches and then the eyelet setting area will go through paper and fabric. You just need to have the right depth of eyelet if you want to go through thicker stuff. The thinner stuff's usually for paper, so they're not super long. Okay, so I'm just getting a few things out here. Put a couple of things away. All right, so this time, I can't remember if I ever aired the video or if this was done through a live stream. I made this page and I mixed media. So it's a direct to paper. It's where I stenciled from the lay stencil in the background with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. Then I made a rose rubber stamp out of fun foam and a printed image that I got off the internet, and just fussy cut that out and glued it to a piece of cardboard and used acrylic paint and stamped all over. So that's about the extent that I've done to this page. Let's add some more stuff to it. I wasn't going to do this, but I think I have enough time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer. So I've got the postcard collage stamp, or postscript collage. I keep doing that. I've got some glitter embossing powder. And I've got my Versamark ink pad. So I'm just going to stamp this. I'm just kind of doing it a little bit random, but yet not upside down. All right. Where's my spoon? I need my little spoon. So I've got a little spoon that I can dip. So sometimes you've got a piece and you're like, well, that's pretty, but oh man, it's kind of out there, Linda. There's a lot of color on there. Well, I'm stamping over it. It'll help tone it down just a little bit. Basically, you want an ink that is a wet ink called a pigment ink if you want to use embossing powder. And this is, I think, Ranger Glitter Gold or something, Gilded Gold or something like that. All right, so I'm just kind of tapping off the excess. Put the lid back on the embossing powder. I'm getting my cooking sheet so I can lay it in there, and we're going to heat emboss it. It's not touching my table. I've got some stuff underneath here. Otherwise, it'll melt my cutting mat. So I use a cookie sheet. Ruby, it's actually a Streamlabs thing. I have a chat bot. So yes, it does work through YouTube whenever you enter in. So you are entered in now. Fun foam, craft foam. I don't have any right here. Just a craft foam. It's called Fun Foam to some people. That's the brand name. But yeah, it's the Streamlabs is yeah, thank you. You're welcome. It's a bot, a chat bot that I have added. All right, so I'm just heating up the embossing powder. You want to keep moving the heat tool so it doesn't burn your paper. I also recommend that if you're doing a lot of embossing, that you wear a mask and do it in a well-ventilated place. It doesn't matter what brand you're using. There's fumes that are coming off of that. And there's also tiny, tiny particles that fly around. So I have given myself a sinus infection whenever I made 250 anniversary party invitations for a family. Because I didn't protect my breathing, and embossing 250 invitations is not a good thing. Okay, I'm almost done embossing this. I wasn't going to do it, and then I got inspired. That happens. And it'll also show you the contrast because I made a sample out of different papers. So again, I'm trying to show you a different way to do the same thing with different colors. I missed a spot here. All right, y'all get in on the boss fight. Okay. Get rid of the pan because it's hot. All right. Clean the desk off. Glitter everywhere. All right, so I want to make this into basically a page belly band. So I'm going to cut it. Let me measure my sample. Make sure what I did. Okay. I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4 inches. Now this is a book page that I have glued to a page out of an old manual. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of these. So 4 1/4. And we can save that for something else later on if I wanted. Let's see, what is it? If I cut it in half, it's almost 2 inches. That could be another element used on another page. So I'm just going to set it aside. Okay. I'm getting all my thingies. All right, so we got these 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I want to, and I forgot, score at the top and the bottom about 1/2 inch. So that will make it, if I did it right, I'll measure. So that'll make that about 6 1/2 inches. And I have some cardstock. I hope I did that the right height. And that is right at 6 1/2 inches. I did it right. All right, so I'm going to do this one now. Okay. Woohoo! Won an FFA, Sandra. Congratulations. I know it's silly stuff. I'm going to make 2, but we'll make 1 today. And I'll save the other one. All right, so I'm going to come across here and go like this. Add some distress inks to it. Several times I've done a live stream, I've pulled out this piece of gel print. And so it's a multiple gel print on some outrageous green paper in the background. And then I have some copy paper, and I have some of these little tear-off notepad sheets. So here's what I've done so far. I cut a piece of the gel print to be a matte. Yeah, you like the gold embossing on there? And it just kind of pops out just a little bit. And then this is an image from Norella. This is from Daydreaming. And I couldn't find the listing today to give you all the link, but I did message her so she would get that updated. And I just thought it'd be a pretty little mat with that on there. So let's glue these 2 together. All right, so that's going to go on here, but this is rather plain. There's not really a whole lot going on that piece. So let's do some stenciling on it. All right, so do I want to use, let's use this stencil here. It's in the half sheet stencil that comes in the September Stencil Club. So I'll line this up. And I have Distress Oxide Picked Raspberry, and I've got a pink brush. So kind of get that lined up somewhat straight. Oh, I'm listening to some music. I should turn this one up. Jesse is a friend. He's always been a good friend of mine. Something's changed. Jesse's got himself a girl, but I want to make her mine. Oh, I've inspired you. Now you want a pink and gold 70s vibe journal? Yeah, have fun with that. Okay, so now you ready for the reveal? Ta-da! So now we've made this little piece. So I wanted to do this so that, number one, it kind of toned down this piece a little bit and gave you some writing space on here. So yes, I didn't have to do the embossing powder all over, but I don't know, it's just satisfying doing that technique. I still think it needs something around that outside edge to define it just a little bit. So how about if we get some of the, let's do the shabby stitches. I wonder if I already have one out. I don't see one. Yeah, let's do this one from the Shabby Stitches, or the Stitches set. There's Shabby Stitches, and this one's Stitches. This is kind of a wavy embroidery pattern. All right. So how about if we put this down? What do you think? And then put this on top. I think it needs another layer here. So let me try some. Oh, I almost dumped stuff. I haven't done this technique in a long time, so we're going to do it today. I want this to have a darker edge, but I don't really want to layer yet another piece of paper. So I'm going to take my ruler and line it up with the edge. And it also kind of protects your paper. And I've just got a permanent black ink pen from the dollar store. And I'm just going to go down that edge. And it adds just a little bit right there on that edge. I don't know. This is just one of those techniques that it doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot, but it sure does make things stand out, doesn't it? I think we could do it around the outside edge of our pocket piece too. So I'm going to go ahead on the back and get that flat. All right, we're going to do the same thing, but right on this edge. So I'll line it up and then go down the edge. Okay, I've got into the zone. I'm in the creative zone right now. I can't concentrate on y'all. Now, you could also use a gold leafing pen if you wanted that gold vibe to continue. Yeah, exactly. That's why I like doing it, Jeanette. All right, so now if I put this down, I want to down it closer to the bottom here. Kind of like that. And then this is going to go up here. We use that icky green paper that you have the other side. Usually there's two sides of paper. All right, so now I've got this little pink piece of copy paper. You get some in sometimes my subscription boxes. I think I had some in the Enchanted Rose kit and the Garden Tea Party. So I'm going to stamp it up just a little bit so I can have room to tear it out. All right, let's do this. All right, it's 2 o'clock, y'all. Can you believe it? Y'all get entered into the raffle for the goodies. All right, so I'm just tearing this around. So just have a nice little interest to it. And let's put some distressed inks upon it. Yeah, it's exactly. Use supplies to the maximal potential. You don't have to have a ton of things, realistically. I mean, the background, you could have used a digital image. You could have used scrapbook paper. But if you truly don't have scrapbook paper and access to digital images, well, then make your own background paper. Now, yes, I did use a digital image there. But again, you could have used a rubber stamp and colored the butterfly blue, used a couple other rubber stamps, or you could just doodle. And I thought that would be pretty on top of that. So I said I wanted this to be a belly band. So the concept is it has tabs at the top and the bottom, so you could put a card or something behind that. So let's make this something that goes behind that. So I want to make sure before I get started that my piece of paper, don't be like me, learn from my experience. I want to make sure that this will fit. And it fits. It's going to be a tight fit, which I think is fine because then it won't slide out of the card too easily, or out of the journal too easily. Okay. So how can we alter this? Well, I've got another piece of that gel print that I thought would be pretty on here. This is a piece of, it's real wood-like feeling handmade papers that I happen to have just a little scrap of, but I can mat that all up. I may put it on this side just because this is on this side when you pull it out. The more you have, the more I lose. I understand that. Thank you, Millie. All right. So this time, I want to change the way this looks in the background. I've got the romantic rose. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. All right. If that's going to go on this side, I want this on this side. Romantic swirl. And I'm continuing on with the picked raspberry. I'm just rotating the stamp and going around the edge. How's that? You kind of see the patterning there. So now I want to put this piece on here, but I think I like the idea of framing it like we did over here. So I'm going to get my ruler and my pen that I put it up. Believe it or not, I put it away. The heat is on and your health favor makes you sleepy. Yeah. Vote for a nap. I think you always take a nap, don't you, Robin, in the afternoon? That's that hottest part of the day. Take a siesta. And then get back to work when it's cooler. That's what they did. They did. Still to this day, I think. Okay, I'm liking this little mat. haven't done this in a while. I sometimes forget. Doesn't that make a big difference with that pop of black on there? Bye, Bonnie. Have a great day. Thank you, Anita. All right, so now I want the rubber stamp that I got out. Ah. I have this feather. No, it's not feathered floral. Maybe it is feathered floral. I wrote the name down. Feather floral rubber stamp. I just had the link, so I'll go ahead and post it. Oh, that's not the right link. That's my video that we're watching right now. Don't click on that. You'll be in a weird loop. There we go. Feather floral. And, you know, since I did the gold on here, I'm kind of thinking I want to put the gold on there. So I'm going to get the Versamark back out and my powder. And let's ink this up. All right, so I want it to be right about in there, I think. Okay, so now I need my little spoon. Where's my spoon? Now it may stick to some of the Distress Oxide. I should have treated the paper beforehand, but I'm going to encourage it not to